Hi, I'm Reverend Anna, and I'm the Senior Minister of Unity of Austin. And thanks for joining me. I want to share a few thoughts with you about the topic, upside down. I've got a joke for you. A priest, a minister, and a guru sat discussing the best positions for prayer while a telephone repairman worked nearby. Kneeling is definitely the best way to pray, the priest said. Oh no, said the minister. I get the best results standing with my hands outstretched to heaven. You're both wrong, the guru said. The most effective prayer is when one is seated in the lotus position. The repairman could not contain himself any longer. Hey, fellas, he interrupted. The best praying I ever did was when I was hanging upside down from a telephone pole. And this is from Jesus in the Gospel of John 16, verse 33. I've said this to you so that in me you may have peace. In the world, you face persecution, but take courage. I've conquered the world. He was speaking about that Christ presence, the spiritual life in him, which he manifested so fully and in all people. Well, maybe you can relate to that telephone lineman. I sure can. The times that I've prayed the most effectively are when I was hanging upside down, metaphorically speaking. Those were the times when outer situations didn't make any sense and they were too painful and too complex for me to have a quick fix for. Those were the times when my mind and my heart opened to the power that is beyond my human comprehension. I call that power spirit or God. Years ago, a trusted friend explained to me that God isn't an authoritarian that wants to dominate me, but simply a power that's larger than me. It's a power of which I and all creation are a part. My friend's explanation, based on his own relationship with what he called his higher power, was a pivotal moment for me. It moved me into a trusting relationship with God, which continues to grow and develop. I realize now that I can open my heart and mind at any time to awareness of the divine. I don't have to wait to be hanging upside down. That said, hanging upside down has its advantages. There are stories in almost every culture of people who, either by choice or by accident, found themselves hanging upside down from a branch of the world tree, the axis mundi, the spiritual center of the world. Inevitably, this alternative point of view led them to wisdom that they could not have gotten in any other way. Friends, as we face the upheaval in the world, global warming, inequalities, and the continuing effects of the COVID pandemic, we are in such a time as this. We are hanging upside down on the world tree, seeing our world and ourselves from a new perspective. We're called to action, to release old ways of relating, and in their place to bring forth an understanding of our sacred oneness with all creation. We are being drawn to get to work, fulfilling our soul's divine purpose. This was the theme of the Parliament of World Religions 3-day online conference that I attended over the weekend. The many speakers supported the Parliament's mission of cultivating harmony among the world's religious and spiritual communities. And this fosters our engagement with the world to address the critical issues of our time and so create a world of peace, justice, and sustainability. Unity was well represented. Our Unity Movement leadership gave several presentations and participated in financial sponsorship of the conference. Also, a Unity online banner was featured. Unity's spiritual principles have always been aligned with the values of the Parliament. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our movement co-founders, were among spiritual leaders from around the world that attended the very first Parliament in Chicago, 1893. We're called to see clearly and act courageously for the good of our world. Grounded in prayer, we know that God is source. We hold the awareness of divine life in everyone and every aspect of creation. We ask for guidance as to what our outer actions are to be, what are we to do to bring forth a world of good, a world of abundance for all creation. We remember that Jesus tells us that no matter what is happening in the world, the Christ has overcome it. And then we get to work. Hanging upside down does have its advantages. Thanks so much for joining me. God bless you in the love and the light of the living Christ.